defensive nutrition, that's a term kind of coined, because one thing, we can formulate the best diet on paper, but there are certain things that just need to be done and ensure that we have good performance. One of the things is understanding mycotoxins and just sometimes safety factor. To me, to us, mold mitigation products are a standard day in, day out safety factor product, because we may have good corn, but from time to time we get hot spots and everything, and we might have an issue on the farm if we don't have a binder in there, and it's like, okay, what happened? It came and went. But if we had a binder in there consistently, we would have probably never seen that, because we took and bound up a problem. Mycotoxin binders, some are mineral binders such as bentonite or hydrated sodium silicates. One key thing to remember, if we have a health challenged herd and we're using a binder, we need to remember that bentonite binds pomatil, so we need to try and avoid the use of bentonite. Others use a DFM and yeast product in them. Some are a combination of mineral and DFM and yeast. Different products are used for different mycotoxins. Not all products are created equally. Some of them work differently, some are more efficacious. Products that we tend to use are Mobilize, AnkleFit, and Engage and BioFix Plus. That's kind of on the top end of our list for mycotoxin mitigation program. And one of the key things to using a mycotoxin binder and just protection of your sow herd, testing is an important part of that program. I like to do quarterly testing, and I kind of base those quarters around new crop corn. So once new crop corn is in, I like to start the clock ticking, get those sampled. Another time is in June, when we've got tops pulled out of bins and we're pulling centers. That's kind of critical. And then that August, September, when people are pulling bin floors. However, if we do have some high toxin issues, we like to monitor more on a monthly basis or so we have more of an understanding of what's going on in those cases.
On the mold situation or the mycotoxin situation, Dietrich and I on sow herds always leave it in there. Okay, we may move our level up and down depending on the challenge, but it's always in there. On grow finish pigs, sometimes depending on how clean the corn is and whatnot, we will actually pull a mycotoxin binder from those situations.
Gestation and lactation, it's a constant safety factor, and it's an always in product. Mycotoxins, more on mycotoxins, they're naturally occurring toxins. Aspergillus produces alpha toxin, maximum of 20 parts per billion is your FDA advisable limit on trading corn. Fusarium produces several mycotoxins. Zearalenone, level of issues at 0.5 ppm or higher. Vomitoxin, there has two separate levels. There's kind of a gap in there, but pigs weighing under 50 pounds, 0.5 ppm. Pigs, and mature pigs over 50 pounds, 1 ppm. Fumonisins, 5 ppm or higher. T2, every now and then we see that, but not too much. The first three are more common at 100 parts per billion. Mycotoxins are a bigger problem when they are in combination. Such things like a CTC Denegard drugs we all know has a positive synergistic effect. When you mix a vomitoxin and zearalenone, you have negative synergistic effects. And even with lower levels than what's recommended for a level of concern, you could have some performance issues with a combination of mycotoxins. And that's another reason why we like to leave that safety factor in our gestation and lactation diets.
The other thing, one more thing on the mycotoxin, the other thing that's important is when we process that corn kernel, that's when we can get an expansion of mold growth. And then as we get mold growth, that's when they start producing mycotoxins. So it really does make a difference on how long your complete feed is stored before it's actually consumed. So your gestation feed may last longer, and if it takes 5 or 6, maybe 7 days to use up that delivery, you may not think you have problems in them, but once you process that corn, you can create a mycotoxin situation just while that bin is stored in your bin waiting to be used.
So in defensive nutrition, you know, we've talked about some simpler things, and it can become more of a complex thing. You know, it can be as complex as a PERS or PD feed medication program using such products as formaldehyde, Activate DA, or Captisure. These products are very expensively and primarily serve in a prevention role. The key thing, if you think you need these, is knowing the disease pressure in a region. These are not a day in, day out type of product that would be used in a diet. But if we have a very high disease pressure in our region, this is maybe something that needs to be considered. So we need to know what is going on. You know, if you can, talk to your neighbors. If you use a toll miller, you know what's going on with your toll miller. And you need to know the biosecurity of your feed supplier. And when I say that, whether if it's yourself using that on-farm milling or your own milling site or a commercial toll miller, you need to know the biosecurity of your feed supplier and make sure that they're running, you know, are we cleaning floor mats? Are we doing some simple things? You know, what are we doing to control biosecurity? But that's a simple thing that we need to stay on top of to protect our farm.